Hi, my name is Yvonne Gana Aragon, a student from GELITH Y08, and I major in sports management. In this vlog, I will be talking about my lessons learned and my takeaways from each material, homeworks, and activities throughout this term. So let's get started. Here are my 3 takeaways from Module 1, Tradition and Subversion.
Number 1. Myths and folklore are not only for entertainment but also for us to understand certain events and topics in modern society. So let's talk about witches. Witches can be seen as evil based on how they look or present themselves in society. So there are 2 types of witches known in mythology, Philippine mythology. There are those who practice black magic, and there are those who are healers, who are nurturing and caring to society. So the community sees a witch as evil if they see that that person is not put together, like her hair is messy, she has untidy face, or her clothes are a bit raggy. These are seen to be evil because they do not fit in the category of a feminine witch. Number 2. During pre-colonial times, Filipinos used to worship deities and other mythical creatures such as diwatas and anitos. Yet, after colonialization, different traditions and beliefs have been ingrained in our culture. Let us take, for example, Zeus and Hades and Athena are now more talked about than Bathala and our other mythical creatures. Being influenced by foreign literature and international cultures affect how we think, and the next generation will think. That is why it is important for us to continue to learn and read about Philippine mythology and folklores so that we will not forget or lose sight of who they are. Number 3. Philippine folklore is directly tied to the history of the country. Nuno, for example, is the spirit of nature, and it has been a culture and tradition for Filipinos to say tabi-tabi po or excuse me when walking through grass, when or even doing business in trees, right? However, throughout time, these norms have been neglected and are not practiced anymore in modern day society. Continuing to learn and read about Philippine literature will contribute to their existence in Filipinos' minds and hearts, because the moment we stop talking about kwentong encantos, myths and legends, then that is the moment that they will stop to exist. Let's now move on to Module 2, A Nation and Beyond. So my first takeaway is what we actually wrote in our group homework. It is a theory by Ernest Renan, which states that a nation is not only a group of people with the same ethnicity and skin color, but a nation is a collection of people who share the same history, has a strong relationship, and a mutual agreement to stay united. So what I understand from this is a nation is not only a group of people who stay together, but a nation should be a group of people united throughout the joys. They're bounded by sacrifices and victories from the past to help them grow. My second takeaway is to look at the bigger picture and not to judge a story based on only one side, because single stories make stereotypes and they are often incomplete. This is in relation with the short clip Pagpag. In this short documentary, we see people gathering bits of bones and meat from trash and reselling it for a low price. The first thought that came to mind was, why won't people look for other jobs so they could eat better? Or why won't people look for other jobs so they can have better income, so they would stop selling pagpag? But the thing is, I judged too quickly without even realizing that these people are not lazy. Well, in fact, they are hard workers who are only born into unfortunate circumstances. So, clips like this should not be judged single-handedly, or we should look at the bigger picture than calling them lazy and calling them poor, because if they were given a chance to have better jobs and better opportunities, then they would grab it. And my third takeaway from Module 3 is there are three sides to every story: my side, your side, and the truth. It is easy to live the foretold reality of someone who keeps living a lie, thinking it is the truth. I got this from Dead Weight in Memoriam and Kangkungan. So these are political videos, yet, like I said, there are three sides to every story: my side, your side, and the truth. Let's say, for example, in Dead Weight, there are people who think that the Marcos's martial law era was the worst time in history. There are people who think that this is the best time in history, and there is the truth. Same goes with Kangkungan. When people say that Duterte is the worst president, some would say that he is the best president, and there will always be the truth. So let us derive from clips like these that we should balance our opinions and thoughts by not being biased on our opinions, but instead let us weigh the truth and what we should believe in, because someone who keeps living a lie, thinking it is the truth, will always be biased of their opinions and will not think rationally, therefore will always be against justice and those who are oppressed. Let us talk about the last and final module, Module 3, Body and Desire. My first takeaway is sexuality and gender does not mandate love, because love is present in all genders and desires. So I got this from the readings of He Who Sleeps on My Lap and from the clips of Zombadings, because the personas in these materials are boys who are in love with boys. So it shows that you don't have to be the opposite gender to love somebody, because there are people of the opposite gender who gives love just as much as the counterpart. I actually have a few relatives who are part of the LGBTQ community and who are also in love. Well, my uncle, who is a very good lawyer, has a boyfriend, and they have been together for years now, and this is proof that sexuality or gender does not mandate love, because love is present in all genders. Number 2 is inclusivity and acceptance is still a controversial topic for the LGBTQ community in the Philippines, as they are not given the same and equal rights and opportunities as binary people. So I think that religion and the church has a big influence on people's minds as to why we are still close-minded of the LGBTQ community. This also affects how parents think of their children. Like, there are parents who beat their children, there are parents who shun their children if they come out as gay or lesbian. As we can see in the song Serena, the father beats up his kid because he is gay, as well as in the clip for Home for the Golden Gays. They actually said in the clip that their family shunned them away, or they have no more home just because they are gay. So I think acceptance and inclusivity is still really a big issue for the Philippines to face, and I think that one reason that hinders this is the acceptance of the church, the Catholic Church. Number 3, the rise of acceptance is because of the help of mainstream media and big personalities of the LGBTQ community. So, personalities who are in mainstream media have contributed to the acceptance of the LGBTQ community. Personalities like, let's say, Vice Ganda, Boy Abunda, and personas from the Netflix show Game Boy have shown to be people of talents and confidence, and with their help they have made breakthroughs through media, mainstream media, and they have influenced other LGBTQ to come out as well and just be confident to who they are. That's all for what I've learned and my takeaways from each module. Here are my 3 takeaways from other activities. Number 1, short stories and films are both a way to entertain while showcasing relatable and truthful comments. I especially enjoyed the activities on short films, where I was able to watch different short films which were relatable to Philippine culture, such as political culture, family bond culture, best friend culture. So these short films are really enjoyable because they depict real life scenarios and experiences that the audiences could relate to. I especially loved the short film Ang Painting ni Tatay because it showcased a deaf child as the star, while it walked us through his lifetime of success. So they were just living a simple life, and then he grew up to be a painter. So it goes to show that happiness is not measured by money, but it is measured by the relationship of the people around you and the people you love. And these are the moments that really matter. Number 2, I learned about the function of personas in literary pieces. So personas are very important in literary pieces because they express emotions, ideas, and beliefs. So personas express what they want to feel, and it is up to the audience to interpret it. If we go back to our reading from the coffee break, it walked us through the persona of the man who somehow is like a stalker to this woman in the coffee shop. Some people may interpret him as sweet, yet I interpreted him as a stalker because he is a stranger to the woman, yet he knows every detail of, the physical appearance of that woman, which is a quality of a stalker. So aside from that, his persona was expressed well, like he was observant, he was somewhat in love. So personas are really important to express what the author wants the audience to think of in their literary piece. Lastly, number 3, This is from our activity, the Then and Now. Mythical creatures used to have such power and amazement. Yet, with the rise of Greek, Norse, and Japanese mythologies, we have forgotten about ours. I actually wrote about tikbalang, the tikbalang in my paper, and I realized that uh, foreign culture and foreign literary pieces has been catching up to ours, that this has influenced us to um, dig deeper into theirs while we forget and neglect about ours. So it is important for us to keep studying and researching about Philippine folklore and mythology so that we won't forget our cultures and traditions, because these are what makes us unique and this is our identity. GELITH has not only taught me to read materials and instructions, but to actually read and follow instructions correctly. This will help me apply this habit in the workplace. And if I follow this habit, I would be able to do the work once and correctly rather than to do it many times but wrongly. This subject has also deepened my reading comprehension and as well as my thinking skills. GELITH provided materials that does not only relate to academics but also to societal struggles such as poverty and the LGBTQ community. This has taught me to be more empathetic and to look at things at a different perspective. These qualities will contribute to my overall development both academically and as a member of society. GELITH has also taught me about the importance of Philippine literature and how we should not neglect and forget them. Overall, I enjoyed my experience in GELITH and I learned a lot from Mr. Solapco. So, I hope you enjoyed my academic vlog and I hope you enjoyed what I learned throughout this course. I hope you stay safe and thank you for watching.